Never taking a seat. From the first note to the last, we're never done. This is the anthem for everyone. Power, turn it up, pick up the pace, here we go, let it roll. Power and fire, we're taking control. And some things studio, we stand tall.
Well, hello, all of you string picking guys and gals out there. Welcome back to Obscene Studios, and today we're going to give him a bath and make him look purty. String pickers, it's been a long while since I have featured my good old pal Draco on the channel. This guitar, I've told the story before. If you want the full story, go back to that video. It's quite an old one, so I guess I'm kind of doing a revamp of this. This guitar is tuned to drop C. I play a lot of stuff in drop C, but for some reason it sounds better on red in drop C than it does on this one. This is an LTD EC50. This is the low end of the line when it comes to some LTDs, but it has the ESP pickups in it. They have a really good sound, a good warm tone, and I like the sound of these pickups. So I kept this guitar. I put this guitar skin on it. It's a dragon. You see it there? That's a dragon. I bought this skin and put it on, and I run into a little problem down here of it not wanting to stick, and it's got a little rough around the edges there, but it's finally laid flat, so I'm thinking I may take a little bit of something and try to knock that edge down right there so I don't feel it whenever I'm up here. Not that I spend much time up there, but you know what I mean. But I want to go through it today. I want to give it a good look-see, because I'm noticing that when you come up the fretboard that the action gets a little bit higher down here, and I don't think that I need to shim it. If anything, hopefully leveling the fretboard and adjusting the bridge will give me that good action back. The action is not bad right now. Let me check that out. The action right now, according to my handy dandy plastic little action reader thing here, on the 12th fret, we are right where we're supposed to be, and it is reading at 1.5. It's reading at 1, just a hair over 1 on the high E side. But yeah, figured we would talk about it a little bit. Check it out. LTD made these guitars, and they were just kind of the entry-level guitars for LTD. You could buy these used for probably about 100 to 150 bucks, depending on what condition they're in. My son originally bought this guitar for 100 bucks. I mean, he scored, and it had like this silver metallic burst is what it was. The ugliest paint job I've ever seen in my life. I just don't like that paint job at all. It sparkled. I mean, it had like metal flakes you would see on a boat. out on the water somewhere. This big old metal flake. It was just horrible. I didn't care too much about it. So I ended up ordering this skin, which was a dragon, and I stripped the guitar and I put the skin on here, and it laid down really well, except for right here. And I found myself trying to stretch it. And of course, when you mess with these vinyl skins, it's hard to get them to lay down, and it didn't want to stick right there. So I ended up putting a little bit of adhesive under that. One day I will change this right here. One day this will change, and I'll have a different skin on here, because this is sort of my experimental guitar, and I want to get another skin for this guitar to give it a different look later down the road. And I want to show you guys a video of how I do that. It's quite the process, not really hard, just time consuming. But I want to go through some of the features of this guitar today. First, we will start with weight. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, let's check it out. Let's see how much this bad boy is going to weigh. Let's see here. 7.81 pounds. That's kind of hefty for this guitar. I ain't got to lie. I mean, the body's not all that super thick. And it's got a big old huge belly carve on it and everything. That's kind of odd. I don't get that it weighs that much. I figured it's probably 7.5 or under, you know. It's got this huge belly carve in it. I really like that. It contours to my body because I'm a fat guy. I mean, look at this thing. Look at that. Look at it. I'm due in like 3 weeks. But yeah, I just want to go through some of these features today on this guitar, because this does classify as a budget guitar, even though it does not look like a budget guitar. This guitar I have played the time out of. I absolutely love this guitar. This guitar is bad to the bone. When you play it through this carving over here, real good tones out of it and everything. It's an amazing guitar for what it is. I never thought in a million years that I would like this low end guitar as much, but I tell you what I want to do. We're going to look at the pickups on this thing and see how much they read. So how about we just run over to the bench real quick, and we're going to start operating on this thing and seeing what we can do about making this action a little bit better, just a tiny bit, to where it's not so high down here at the 24th. And I'm thinking it might possibly be the truss rod. I'm not for sure. The truss rod really looks, yeah, it's not the truss rod. It may need a shim in the neck. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, I want to show you guys this guitar. We're going to talk about it a little bit. And here we are, guys. We are on the bench with Draco, my good old buddy here. These up close shots are really going to show you how big of an amateur I was. I mean, look at that. Taking that off all the way around. I could have done that better. They offered some kind of line that you could put down that you just tear. But no, I am excellent with a hobby knife. So I ended up doing that, and yeah, I jacked it up. But it's okay. As Ted from Ted Talks Guitars and Life says, you can't tell it from the 22nd row. So this is what I was talking about right here. This little rough spot. I had to put some adhesive under that, but it's starting to come up a little right here. So I'm going to trim this down just a little, make that a little bit smoother right in there. I don't know if you guys can, let's get in here. Okay, right here. So yeah, you can see right there. Yeah, you know, I butchered this. I really did. I butchered it. But I do want to trim that up because I feel that when I'm down here, and I don't like it. I don't like it. So anyway, 24 fret neck. It's got branded tuning machines on it, which is really cool. I done a little bit of a decal up here with the vinyl. Actually, that come off of one of these horns right here. When I cut it off, I just trimmed it out and put it on the headstock to kind of match up just a little bit. And so, yeah, let me set you guys up, and we're going to go through some measurements and look at everything regarding LTD EC50. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is get a drink of coffee. Oh yeah, that's good. Good stuff. Good stuff. the second thing we're going to do is we're going to check the output on these pickups. You know why? Because I can't remember if I've done that before. But we're going to do it now. So let's set all of my little parts over here. And let's get our multimeter out. All right. And let's plug in to the output jack. Let's lay it up here. And we're going to go ground to ground, hot to hot. Let's turn this bad boy on and see what we got here. This is why I have never changed the pickups in this guitar. This bridge pickup between 1805 and 1810 on the ohms meter. That, my friends, is insane. I love those pickups. So now you know why I brag about it sounding so good. It's because it has that articulation. In the middle position, we have 7.36. Okay, to recap, 18.4, let's just say 18.50 on the bridge, 7.32 in the middle position, and the neck is at 12.11, 12.12. So there you go. I mean, that right there is evidence alone why I have never changed the pickups in this guitar. I love the sound of this guitar from the first time that I ever heard it, and I had to have it. And I will tell you this, those pickups will stay. Even if this guitar spontaneously combusts and burns and everything else, I hope that I have time to pull the pickups out of it before it completely burns to ash, because I love those pickups. Love, love, love. And I'm not really a huge ESP fan. Never really been a huge ESP fan. But these pickups are absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay, so now let's check our neck level and see where we're at with that. Got a little bit of relief going from the 7th fret down. Yeah, okay, we're all right. We're not. We need to adjust that. We're going to have to adjust that out. That's way too much relief. That probably the reason why my actions come up some is because of that relief that is in the neck. So let's go ahead and flip this thing over. We're going to look inside the cavity back here. It has a contoured heel right here, which is really good to get into that good handshake that everybody loves, to get up to them higher frets. So I do love that the heel comes down and then kind of rolls and tapers off over here. That's awesome. I love that about this guitar. One other thing that I love about this guitar is the fact that it only has 3 screws holding on the back plate rather than 1,500 that you see on other guitars. All right, got that out. One thing I have never looked at, and now I'm going to, because this guitar has always been such a good guitar that I've never had a reason to look inside the back plate. But however, I'm telling you, I'm hoping that these are 4-wire, because if they're 4-wire, I'm putting a push-pull in this thing faster than you can blink your eye. And it does not look like it is a 4-wire. Ah, that's so sad. So sad. I think now, if I recall correctly, I think I have looked at that. Yeah, I think I have looked at that before, and it's not I discovered that. Well, can't win them all, I guess. Cannot win them all. Okay, well, being as I love this guitar the way it is, we're not going to touch anything. I had actually thought about putting a treble bleed in this at one time, but with pickups that hot, I just do not see a call for it. So I'm going to leave that alone. I did put a tone capacitor in there, and it has helped out a whole bunch. So we do have that going for it. Toggle switch is good. Toggle switch has never given me any problems whatsoever. And this guitar has the 500K pots. The 2 A's for the volume, the 1 B for the tone. So let's flip this thing back over. And let's take this little string dampener off of it and get that out of the way. And let's take off the truss rod cover. I guess if I put it on loosen instead of tight. Okay, so let's tighten this thing just a little bit, get some of that relief out of there so that we can get some of that action back. So I'm going to do about 1/8 of a turn, and then we're going to do just another little bit of a turn here and see where we sit. Main thing is we do not want string buzz whatsoever. We're not going to polish frets today, and we're not going to do the fretboard, because if you see the fretboard may look a little bit shiny, it's because I haven't played this in so long that I put some of this string lubricant on it and cleaned the strings, put some of that on there, and everything looks good. The strings still got a lot of life left in them. I always try to keep this guitar playable so we don't have to worry about gunk on the fingerboard and gunk on the frets and stuff. And these frets are in great shape. Like I've said in videos past, if you want to know if these frets need polished or anything like that, just pick a note on the G string and just run it back and forth like that. If it rings out a note instantly, then you know that there's gunk on the frets. You can do that in several places on the fretboard, and it'll let you know if it's time for these frets to be polished. Okay, let's look at our neck level. Okay, I think I'm going to give it one more little turn. I'm sorry, guys, if you're shaking around. I've got you sitting on the bench with me, so this bench is not exactly the sturdiest thing in the world. Okay, now we've got it, and it's going to rattle just a little bit, it looks like. All the action looks great, though, but I bet you money that I'm going to have to shim this neck and raise that bridge. Oh, yeah, so much better. That's about right where I need it. And let's look at the action. Oh, man, that brought it way down. Yeah, that's way down. That's about 125 on the, no, actually it's lower than that. It's about 1 millimeter on the top, and on the bottom it is about a half of that. So yeah, bridge is going to have to come up. So let's go ahead and get our screwdriver out here, and let's raise this bridge just a little bit. In order to do this, ladies and gentlemen, I don't do it a lot, but I have learned with these Tune-o-matic style bridges like this that, you know what, I'm going to have to shim that neck. That's just all there is to it. I'm going to have to shim the neck to get that good action. I tell you what, let's just do that. Let's just shim the neck and be done with it. Now, guys, in taking this neck off, I was reminded that not too many videos back, I talked about shimming a neck and always laying your screws out in the manner to which they were put in. So what I do is I take these 2 screws out and I lay them down on the bench under the guitar in this fashion toward the back. And then when I take these out up here, which are going to be shorter because of the taper on the heel, I just make sure that I lay these out in the correct position that they come out of this. And that way we do not have to worry about things getting all messed up whenever we put it back together, because the last thing you want to do is drive a screw through your fretboard. Okay, so now that we got the neck loose, we can get in here and look at it. And what I'm going to do is I am going to move this out of the way so we can lay this down flat, and we can just pop the neck off and move it to the side. And there is no shim at all in here. I was wondering, thinking to myself, man, I know I've done that before, but that must have been on Richie and not on this one. So let me show you real quick again how we're going to do this. We take our 1000 grit sandpaper, we take our screwdriver handle, and we lay this down. I usually push it right up against this pickup ring right here. And then what I do is I just go around, apply pressure, and what that does is it mashes down right on the edge. And once you get done with that, you have this. And then all you got to do is cut around the outside of this right here, double it over, cut around it again, and then mark off where your holes are going to be, and then take a hole punch, punch holes in it, and you're good to go. So let me get my scissors. And what I'm going to do is I am going to come straight down like this right here, coming right to the edge of that line on the outside. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come around right here. Now, always, it never fails. I always end up having to trim a little more, but that's okay. If you have to trim a little bit more, then you're good to go. It's all right. You're not going to get it perfect every time. Lord knows I have tried and I've not been able to get it perfect every time. So I do the absolute best that I can, and as long as it fits in that pocket and it is secure, then you're okay. You're all right with it. All right, let's see if it fits down into the pocket. Just a little bit off right here. This goes back to what I just said. You're not always going to get it right. There we go. Fits in there perfect. Now what we're going to do is, if you'll look right here is the screw holes. Here's the two back, here's the two front. We've got all of this area back here. And this is where you want to put the shim. Now, I understand, ladies and gentlemen, that you can buy shims for these, and that's okay. I don't mind that. I mean, I think that's cool and all, but in a pinch, this stuff right here works amazing. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cut off right here. Going to hold these together and just slip them right down in there. And they are completely out of the way of the screw holes. So let's get our mess out of the way. Now I always use 2-ply. Some people say 1, but if I notice a significant change, then I always use 2-ply. Just take 1000 grit sandpaper and I fold it over on itself and I use a 2-ply. And there is a significant difference with this neck as opposed to most that I've seen. Some of them I've got away with 1. Some of them I've had to put as much as 3 and 4-ply in there and really jack it up. But with these right here, this being an adjustable bridge works fine. Okay, right now we have got strings sitting right on the frets. So in that situation, you have to raise the bridge. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take a small piece of painter's tape and I'm going to tear this in half like so, then stick one piece on top of the other to give it sort of a 2-ply. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to wrap it around the end of this straight edge bit. Now you don't have to do this part, but I do. Just trim off the excess. Basically, this is to keep from scarring up the bridge or the guitar, any situation like that, because you don't want that. Nobody wants a big, huge scratch on their guitar. So there's a half turn, there's a full turn, We'll go 1/2 turn and then go full turn here. Let's see where that puts us.
Well, hello, string pickers, you know what to do. In this obscene studio, we'll tear right through. This is our channel, we're here to shine. Guitars in hand, we're crossing every line. It's a power surge, no slowing down. I'll show you how we rock this town. From your screen to my soul, we connect and ignite. The rhythm's alive, let's turn it.
Wow, what a difference. Well, there, string pickers, we've made it through another one. This one needed some attention because I have not played this one in a while. I recently tuned red down to C and was playing through red. But I cannot believe how hot those pickups are. Those ESPs are where it's at. And they're passive at that. So I just can't get enough of this guitar. This guitar is really one of the best sounding ones in this studio. If I had these pickups in an actual thicker bodied guitar, maybe something that had some better components on it than what this one had. Not that this one's bad. This is a great guitar. I had Scotch-Brighted the back of the neck a while back, and it is really slick now. It's not sticky no more. But yeah, I think that is going to do the trick. I think, in all honesty, it probably needs another shim to bring it up. Maybe one more ply, but I'm not going to worry with that today. I think the action is good. It's good up to, I'm right where I need to be at the 12th. At the 15th, it starts to come up again and down here, but I don't spend much time down here. This is like no hand zone for me. Like I can't do all that solo that solo stuff right there. But yeah, sometime in the future, I think I may do some modding to this guitar. I want one of those Geiger roller bridges back here. I want that to go on this guitar, and I would like to just black it out. Just take the tuners, put black ones in, black knobs, black bridge and tailpiece, and just black it out completely. I think it would look just wicked cool if I done that. But anyway, string pickers, that's all I've got for you today. I'm so glad that you guys hung around with me through this. It's just a Saturday, and I'm kind of inside and needed to get some things done, and I've been meaning to do that for quite some time. So I appreciate each and every single one of you. I hope that you and yours are having the most blessed day ever, and I pray to God that He is with you all. Until next time, later.